Have you ever spent hours crafting the perfect SQL query, only to find that your comments disappear when you create a view? It's frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to keep your comments intact in PostgreSQL views. I totally get it. Losing comments in your SQL queries can make it tough to remember what you were thinking when you wrote them. You're not alone in this struggle. Many users face the same issue when working with pgadmin 3. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "How can I keep the comments I add inside a SQL query when creating views?" They mentioned that after creating a view, the comments are deleted and the indentation is completely revised. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's happening here? When you create a view in PostgreSQL, the system often strips out comments and reformats the SQL code. This can be a real headache if you rely on those comments for clarity. But don't worry, we'll find a way to work around this. And stick around. I have a great tip at the end that will help you manage your SQL comments more effectively. To keep comments in the view definition, the user should consider using a different approach to create views. Instead of using the standard view creation method, they can create a function that returns a set of records. Next, the user can create a view that calls this function. This way, the comments will remain intact within the function definition. Now, when the user checks the view definition in pgadmin 3, they will see the comments preserved within the function. This method allows for better documentation of the logic behind the view. Finally, the user should remember that while this method keeps comments, it may require additional management of the function if changes are needed in the future. Fun fact, PostgreSQL is named after the ancient Roman town of PostgreSQL, which was known for its advanced data management techniques. Just kidding. But wouldn't that be cool? Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach is to create a late binding view. This can be done by using the option with no schema binding when defining your view. This method allows your comments to persist in the view definition. For instance, in the first example, comments do not persist. However, in the second example, with late binding, the comments remain visible when you check the view definition. Here's the tip I promised. Consider using comments in your SQL code as a separate documentation practice. This way, you can always refer back to your thought process without relying solely on the view definition. And there you have it. While PostgreSQL may strip comments from views, you can still keep your documentation organized. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on optimizing your SQL queries.